Okay, this chapter, I don't know whether you have a look or not, but it's a pretty heavy with facts. Okay, so but I try, okay, I'll try to make it easier for you. Okay, kita cuba sama-sama. So this one is chapter 3, alright, nutrition in plants. Alright, nutrition in plants. So you dah study pasal organisation of plant tissues and growth in chapter 1. Right? I hope by bila I cakap ni you dah tahu apa yang ada kat situ. Alright? So plant tissue and growth ni you have to remember. Alright? Ada permanent dengan meristematic. Alright? Bila meristematic ada apical dengan lateral. Alright? Bila sebut lateral selalunya involve secondary growth. Apical involve primary growth. Right? Kalau permanent, you ingat ada vascular tissue, ground tissue dengan epidermal tissue. Alright, this one. Just a brief recall. So hopefully bila I sebut kat you chapter 1, you dah ada this one in your mind. This is how you study supaya nanti bila you nak SPM, you tak overwhelmed sangat with all this. Okay, so structure and function of leaf, chapter 2 yang baru kita belajar. First kali you akan belajar structure. So outer. Alright. So you tahu ni tangan you kan? Alright. Ni tangan Ainul macam ni. Alright. So ini adalah lamina. Ini adalah petiole. So soalan yang dia suka tanya pasal ni macam tadilah. Adaptation of leaf. Kalau adaptation of leaf sahaja. Alright. So you kena cakap pasal lamina macam ni. Alright. Connected to petiole. Macam mana lamina ni white. Perpendicular to sunlight, macam yang kita try jawab soalan tadi. Tapi kalau dia cakap structure of the leaf tissue, alright, structure of the leaf tissue. So remember you punya tangan, alright. So remember ada palisade, ada mesophyll, ada spongy mesophyll dengan ada stomata. Alright, so dia akan tanya macam mana structure ni maximize photosynthesis. Okay, ini structure. So dalam chapter 2 juga important sikit because you start belajar pasal photosynthesis. Alright, photosynthesis is a bit complicated. Okay, tapi kalau you dah tahu sekarang, macam dah terror gila dah sekarang, I hope sebab nanti you dah belajar later nanti you dah tak payah nak recall dah photosynthesis macam mana. So just ingat photosynthesis ada dua, light dependent dengan light independent. So light dependent dia perlukan sunlight. Light independent tak perlu sunlight. Kenapa light dependent perlu sunlight bla 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 macam tu tadi? You sepatutnya dah belajar in chapter 2. So now today I'm going to finish off. Alright, yes, I said I'm going to finish off chapter 3 because it's very easy. Tapi because this is new syllabus, we really don't know what kind of question that might came out. So it might came out as objective je lah. So for you yang tak berapa suka nak membaca sangat, this gonna be a bit hard for you. Alright, tapi tak apa, I'll try to make it easier. Alright, so for nutrition, Okay, so chapter 2, you belajar ni structure of leaf, macam mana leaf main organ gaseous exchange, bla bla bla, compensation point. Alright, ini jangan lupa. Compensation point adalah soalan famous for you punya essay. Alright, compensation point. So ini adalah chapter 2. So chapter 2 adalah soalan target for SPM lah. Usually because it can boleh jadi macam-macam. Right? For chapter 3, alright, for chapter 3, so you akan belajar 3 benda. First adalah inorganic nutrients yang terbahagi kepada 2. Macronutrients and micronutrients. Kedua, you akan belajar adalah organ in this plant yang nak absorb all this nutrient. Alright, now you can predict it is the root. Alright. So organ dia root. Macam mana root adaptation involved in absorbing these nutrients. So you will learn that today. Last kali you akan belajar type of nutrition. So last sekali you akan belajar type of nutrition. So ada 3 jenis nutrition you will learn in nutrition in plants. First, awal-awal you belajar apa tu nutrition, macam mana plant buat makanan melalui photosynthesis je kan. But now you akan belajar ada plant gain dia punya nutrition not merely through photosynthesis dia. Ada cara lain. So that one you belajar in chapter 3. So first kita akan tengok first on inorganic nutrients terbahagi pada macronutrients and micronutrients. Beza macronutrients because these nutrients is needed in high quantity. Right? You need in high quantity. Micronutrients, you still need it, but you need in lower quantity. We usually call this as trace element. Macam badan kita juga, we have nutrients yang we need in macro, like macam carbohydrate, protein, you perlu makan dengan banyak kan. Sama juga, but for some reason you perlu juga vitamin-vitamin macam vitamin B complex, any vitamins macam tu yang you tak perlu makan macam makan nasi pun, perlu makan sikit je tapi dia perlu, alright, untuk badan you, right? Macronutrients and micronutrients. So in plants, you need to learn all the macronutrients and micronutrients, right? Banyak So macronutrients you have carbon, calcium, hydrogen, magnesium, oxygen, panjang macronutrients. For micronutrients, you have chlorine, zinc, iron, copper, manganese, nickel, boron, and molybdenum. Alright, and each one of these, okay, you kena tahu kalau kurang carbon apa jadi, kurang calcium apa jadi. Nowadays, we have an apps. Alright, I don't know you ada ni ke tak. Kalau you ada phone tu, you ada apps yang boleh you tangkap gambar pokok you. Let's say you are plant mother or plant daddy, alright. You tangkap, lepas tu you perasan dekat pokok you tu daun dia macam lobe, alright. Lobe tu macam daun biasa macam ni kan. Let's say lah, ataupun daun you bentuk macam ni, tapi dia lobe, dia bershape macam tu. Tak sepatutnya shape dia. Right, you tangkap gambar dekat ni, so the AI, artificial intelligence dekat apps you boleh analyse yang mana satu kurang, alright. Let's say dia cakap phosphorus kurang. So bila phosphorus kurang, you kena beli baja lah yang tambah phosphorus. Alright, I'm just telling you lah, these apps actually exist. Tapi last time I check, you need to pay for it. Okay, so untuk nampak macronutrients ni payah nak ingat kan? So I make an acronym, right? Cicah mangga dengan kopi O panas, alright? Cicah mangga dengan kopi O panas. So you ada carbon, calcium, hydrogen, magnesium, alright? Magnesium bezakan dengan manganese, manganese Mn. Ni magnesium, K adalah potassium, oxygen, phosphorus, nitrogen and sulfur, alright? Phosphorus, nitrogen, sulfur. Cicah mangga dengan kopi O panas. So all this adalah macronutrients. Okay. Selain daripada yang ini, maksudnya dia adalah micronutrient. Boleh? Ataupun you can come up with your own mnemonics for this one. But this one, yang ni lah. This one I do it. So kalau you rasa nak buat yang lain, up to you. Okay. So now, bila sebut ni, C, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, okay, I colour dia dengan colour kuning because kalau you ingat balik, this one adalah components untuk photosynthesis hari tu. Alright? Photosynthesis ataupun kita panggil carbon cycle. So macam mana, alright, dia keluarkan CO2, okay, masuk dalam ni, atau waktu di respiration, keluarkan oksigen. Okay, dan dalam tu juga kan, dia perlu hydrogen. Remember your photosynthesis, you also need hydrogen. So C, carbon, hydrogen dengan oksigen. That's why because it's very importance, right, dalam the plant, bila you kurang je this one, carbon, hydrogen dengan oxygen, dia tak boleh nak carry out photosynthesis. This one is very important. Okay, kalau tak ada carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. So let's say a question ask you pasal these three, carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Why it's highly needed by a plant? So satu, you kena cakap, alright, important in carbon cycle, right? Carbon cycle, right? Nombor dua, you boleh cakap important in oxygen cycle. Oxygen cycle. So markah ketiga, you cakap photosynthesis. Photosynthesis cannot take place. So bila photosynthesis cannot take place, apa akan jadi? Okay. Bila photosynthesis cannot take place, what happen to the plant is dia akan jadi stunted growth, right? Stunted. So pokok tu dia akan kerdil. Tapi this one is very rarely to occur. Sebab carbon, hydrogen dengan oxygen is available dekat atmosphere. So sepatutnya you tak payah nak supply dia dekat root. Alright, tak payah supply dekat soil. But it's readily available. Cuma kalau you nampak pokok you macam tak membesar, mungkin you kena expose dia dekat luar sikit. Alright, tapi you dah expose kat luar juga, dia masih lagi stunted growth juga, dan you make sure all other nutrients you dah bagi dia semua benda. So maybe, alright, dia pokok ni ada bermasalah dekat dia punya chloroplast. Alright, maybe it's coming from a not good genetics. Itu je lah. Alright, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Right. Next, alright, sebab I cakap this one banyak yang you kena ingat. So satu, I nak you highlight pasal, right, nitrogen and magnesium. Right, nitrogen and magnesium. Right, ni sepatutnya color green ni. Right, magnesium and nitrogen. Okay, tadi adalah carbon, hydrogen dengan oxygen, right? So you know this one is the most important macronutrients readily available dekat atmosphere. Okay, what I'm showing you right now, this one adalah structure of chlorophyll. Chlorophyll. Chlorophyll adalah photosynthetic pigments inside thylakoid dalam chloroplast. Okay. Ingat tak? Ni you punya chloroplast, dalam ni ada chlorophyll. So bila ada sunlight, elektron ni akan terexcited keluar. So elektron daripada sini lah yang akan excited terkeluar bila ada sunlight. Okay. So ini adalah structure of chlorophyll. Yang paling penting, I want you untuk tengok nitrogen and magnesium. Magnesium. Alright, nitrogen and magnesium is important part in making this chlorophyll. Right? Jadi, apa akan jadi kalau tak ada magnesium dengan nitrogen? So, kalau tak ada magnesium dengan nitrogen, alright, so you akan nampak leaf tu, especially kalau tak ada magnesium, sebab magnesium ni center dekat sini, alright. So, dia akan jadi yellowish. Dia akan jadi warna yellow. Right? Sebab chlorophyll kan warna green. Right? Chlorophyll warna green. So, bila kurang magnesium dengan nitrogen kat sini, bila kurang, jadi dia tak boleh nak form a functional chlorophyll. Jadi pokok ni daripada warna hijau, leaf tu daripada warna hijau, you akan nampak yellowish colour. Right? Dia akan jadi warna kuning. Let me change yellow. Alright? warna kuning. Okay. Nitrogen, dia make up quite a huge component. Alright, so each magnesium kat sini is connected to nitrogen. So dalam chlorophyll pun banyaklah nitrogen. Okay, apa akan jadi kalaulah dia tak cukup nitrogen, alright, dia tak cukup nitrogen, dia akan undergoes what we call as chlorosis. Alright, dia akan undergo chlorosis. Maksudnya chlorophyll yang pecah. Alright, chlorosis. So, bila undergo chlorosis ni, the whole plant ni, alright, the whole leaf ni tadi, alright, bukan part je. Bukan certain part je. Selalunya the whole akan jadi warna kuning. Yellowish. Yang lain mungkin penuh je. Macam kalau you nampak all dah jadi brown, yellowish colour, pokok you ada certain plant, certain leaf dekat pokok you tu dah jadi colour yellow. So mungkin you kena add magnesium sebagai baja. Okay? So this one, alright, this one is I think yang highlight a bit lah. Yang lain adalah macam protein synthesis, but this one is definitely you need to remember by heart. Alright, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, because it involved in carbon cycle dengan oxygen cycle. Alright, so magnesium, nitrogen, sebab dia involved in synthesis of chlorophyll. Jadi bila kurang ni, dia akan jadi yellowish. Alright, so the rest of them, calcium, potassium, K apa tadi? Potassium adalah K. Phosphorus, sorry. Potassium, phosphorus dengan sulfur. Okay, apa akan jadi kalau kurang? So this one ada dekat buku teks you. So nampak? Calcium sama juga macam kita punya bone, right? Bone kita pun made up of calcium. So calcium juga is a main component untuk the structure of the plant. Okay, dia yang buat middle lamella, dia buat cell wall, spindle fiber, bla bla bla. Jadi kurang kalsium also can cause stunted growth. Sama macam dekat atas ni, alright? Macam kurang carbon, oxygen, hydrogen. Phosphorus, nucleic acid. So, right, this one lah, nampak red or purple spots, bla bla bla, sulfur. So this one lah yang I cakap, this one is a bit fat heavy, a bit. Alright, so the question, selalunya the question won't ask you very for remembering because it's not a good question. But this one is, you have to at least remember lah. So, ingat cicah kopi, cicah mangga dengan kopi O panas. So, that's one is you punya macronutrients. As for micronutrients, selain daripada tu, chlorine, ferrum, manganese, boron, zinc, copper, nickel, molybdenum, alright. Satu lagi adalah iron, alright. Iron juga as a cofactor in chlorophyll. Sama macam magnesium and nitrogen. So lack of iron boleh juga cause the leaf become yellowish. Okay? Nampak macam susah sikit kan chapter ni? I mean it's fat heavy sikit lah. It's not a concept macam photosynthesis. So I can't really help you with this as part of the maybe forming mnemonics for this one. But the rest of you still like kena quite independent sikit lah in learning this chapter. Alright, so now you learn about macronutrients and micronutrients. Let me introduce you to Wilhelm Knop. Right? Wilhelm Knop, dia yang cakap plant need all these macronutrients, alright? Need all these macronutrients to live. Right, sebelum I ni, are you guys still here? I tak nampak you guys ni. Ada? Yeah. Okay. Right, so Wilhelm Knop, macam ni. So Wilhelm Knop, dia yang cakap in order for a plant to grow healthy, dia perlu all these macronutrients. So like macronutrients yang I cakap tadi apa? Okay, cicah mangga dengan kopi panas. Alright, this one kan. So ada carbon, calcium, hydrogen, magnesium, potassium, oxygen, phosphorus, nitrogen and sulfur ni. So you tengok sepatutnya semua ada kat sini. Right, nitrogen. Tapi this one adalah elemen, dalam elemen. So kalau you nak supply, how can you supply like carbon, you know? You need to supply dalam dia punya compound. So these are compounds dia. Ada potassium nitrate, potassium dihydrogen phosphate, and all this solution, alright, calcium nitrate, potassium nitrate, magnesium sulfate, blah blah blah. This one, okay, nampak tak? Furum ni tadi adalah micronutrients, right? So dia termasuk dalam trace element. Right? Masuk dalam trace element. But still ada phosphorus yang diperlukan untuk micronutrients. Tapi mostly you dapat dekat sini lah. Right? Potassium dihydrogen phosphate. So Wilhelm Knopp, dia buat this one what we call as Knopp solution. Right? Knopp solution. So Knopp solution is a solution consisting of all this. Tapi in regard of nama dia dipanggil Knopp solution. So sepatutnya eksperimen you akan study the effect of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium ratio on plant growth. Right? So you akan dapat this seedlings pokok kat sini, corn. So culture solution masuk kat sini. Alright, so bila masuk culture solution kat sini, you akan letaklah this culture. Alright, so A, culture you ada semua. This one. All yang Knopp kata you perlu, Wilhelm Knopp kata perlu, semua you letak dekat A. B, control. Dia kata you buat semua tak ada apa-apa yang perlu. Alright. These macronutrients, none of them actually inside that. So you akan tengok apa akan jadi. So C, apa akan jadi kalau tak ada nitrogen? So anything yang ada nitrogen like nitrate macam ni, so semua kita buang. Alright? So kita ganti dengan calcium chloride, potassium chloride. So kita ganti dengan Cl. Right? Okay, without phosphorus, kita buang this one. Alright? Phosphate ni kan phosphorus tadi, kita buang this one. Sini pun ada phosphate walaupun sikit, kita buang. Alright? So potassium, okay, kita buang yang ada potassium. So this one tak ada potassium. This one pun kita buang potassium. Alright, so you ada C, D, E. Right, you akan replace them. So apa akan jadi to this plant later adalah sepatutnya you akan nampak lah. So kalau tak ada phosphorus, apa akan jadi kat sini? So your leaf akan dark green, dull coloured. Kalau untuk yang nitrogen tak ada tadi, alright, you akan nampak start with chlorosis. Alright, lagi satu tadi potassium Alright, potassium kalau tak ada, you akan nampak edges je become yellowish. Alright, so by conducting this experiment, so apa conclusion you? So conclusion you is this all is needed, alright, as a macronutrients to help plant growth. So dia tak boleh hilang salah satu pun. Boleh ya? So cubalah buat dekat rumah, mana nak dapat ni. So kalau you balik nanti mungkin ada masa kita akan buat eksperimen, right? Kita akan buat this Knopp solution. Right, that one cover the first chapter. Alright, in organic, you know the difference between macronutrients and micronutrients. Macam mana nak ingat micronutrients? Ingat cicah mangga dengan kopi panas. So selain daripada nutrient-nutrient letak kat situ, itu adalah micronutrients. So importance, alright, macronutrients tu ada carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, apa akan jadi, right? Magnesium and nitrogen adalah main component of chlorophyll. Kalau tak ada, selalunya dia akan jadi yellowish. Alright, that one untuk macronutrients. For micronutrients, learn on your own. Okay? Alright, so the first chapter. Second sub-chapter adalah you will learn about the organs. Organs yang macam mana adaptation of pokok punya organ untuk absorb all these nutrients dekat soil tu tadi. This one you dah belajar sebenarnya dekat chapter awal-awal. Alright? Organization of plant tissue. So remember, bila you belajar organization of plant tissue, I suruh you tengok the arrangement of xylem dengan phloem. Okay? Kalau dekat xylem ni, kalau eudicots, alright? Okay, ni dekat stem, dekat batang, xylem dekat dalam, phloem dekat luar. So, kalau bentuk xylem dia bentuk tambah macam ni, maksudnya this is the cross section dekat root. Alright? So, kita akan tengok this one. Right, cross section dekat root. So xylem dia bentuk ni tambah macam ni. Okay, it's okay. So first you akan tengok all this root structure. Ada root collar, primary root dengan lateral root. Alright. Root collar adalah root, sebahagian daripada root yang connected to the stem. Alright, we call it root collar. Macam ni lah, macam collar baju you kan yang connected to your neck. Root collar pun sama. Root hair is extended, specialized of your epidermal cells. Alright, ingat tak yang kita dah belajar dulu awal-awal pasal organization of plant tissue. When we talk about epidermal cells, I cakap satu, function of epidermal cells, alright, to protect against injury, to protect against pathogen. Satu lagi, dia boleh specialize, alright, to form specialized function such as root hair. So kalau epidermal cell yang dekat leaf, dia boleh form guard cells. Alright, but this one we mentioned about root hair. So function of root hair adalah untuk increase total surface area. So sekarang daripada nutrient boleh masuk kat sini je, nutrient boleh masuk kat sini, kat sini, kat sini, kat sini, alright. So it increase the surface area of the absorption of nutrients. Okay, hujung sekali adalah root cap, alright, root cap. So root cap ni main function dia hanyalah untuk protect the root, alright, protect the root. Bila dia extended, alright, this one is selalunya apical meristem kan, dia masih lagi membesar, alright. So bila dia membesar is very fragile. So bila dia fragile, bila dia tengah membesar tu root cap yang akan protect dia bila dia go through the soil. Alright, so this one is the structure. You see xylem here sebenarnya bentuk dia macam ni, macam plus. Let me see. Okay, bentuk dia xylem macam ni. Oh, xylem. Inilah dekat gambar sini, this is xylem, this is phloem. Okay, but this one is, yeah, a bit, wait a bit. Alright, so this one is xylem because it's still primary lah. So xylem dekat dalam, phloem dekat luar ni. Alright, but the arrangement is macam bentuk tambah. Selalunya because this is masih lagi primary. Alright, kalau secondary you can clearly see xylem bentuk dia dah tambah macam ni. Alright, phloem dekat tepi. Alright, but this one let me check again later. Alright, okay. Alright, dekat luar adalah epidermals. Alright, epidermal cells. So yang ni lah yang ada root hair. So this one adalah cortex. Alright. This one adalah endodermis, right? Endodermis, right? Endodermis yang kat luar ni. Kat dalam endodermis you got pericycle. So xylem, pericycle dengan phloem is form vascular cylinder. Right? Vascular cylinder bukan vascular cambium, right? Vascular cylinder. Okay? So this one, apa yang ada dekat cortex, remember you belajar chapter awal-awal tu, belajar ada dekat cortex selalunya adalah ground tissue. Okay, tapi sebab dia dekat root, so ground tissue yang selalu ada adalah parenchyma. You remember kalau I cakap pasal ground tissue ada PCS, parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Right, so dekat cortex selalunya ada parenchyma tissue. Right. For the arrangement of xylem and phloem ni, let me check later, okay? I always think like phloem here, but it's fine. Alright, let me check later. So, I want you to focus on this endodermis. Alright, epidermis kat luar kan? Epidermis kat luar, so cortex, endodermis. So you see dekat endodermis ni ada this structure. Alright, this one what we call as Casparian strip. Casparian strip. Okay, apa function Casparian strip? Right, so epidermis, so you belajar apa tu structure and function of epidermis, mostly sama saja. Alright, so cortex yang ada ground tissue. Most of cortex ada parenchyma cells. Endodermis, this one ni tadi. So endodermis, most of endodermal cells have Casparian strips. Alright, this is the belajar pasal movement of water. Alright, movement of water ada apoplast, symplast. That one you akan belajar in the next chapter. Tapi you just put in your mind first, kat endodermis ada Casparian strips. Right? I'm not sure if this is a Casparian strips or not. Right? Usually it ada dekat semua sel sepatutnya. But it's fine. Alright? Okay. So vascular cylinder tadi ada pericycle, xylem and phloem. Alright, this one is very fat heavy now. But this one then you kena ingat the structure of the roots. Okay, nanti kita akan go through balik this part. Okay, organs. So for this nutrition in plants, you belajar inorganic, you belajar organ. Organic, I'll focus later because I don't know, I mean like I quite bummed about this structure tu nanti. Let me study a bit later of this. Right, last one is very easy, adalah type of nutrition. So selain daripada photosynthesis, what kind of nutritions yang plant juga buat? So ada 3. Satu parasitic, alright. Next is epiphytic, and last one is carnivorous, alright. PEC, alright. So when we talk about nutrition, ada parasitic, alright, epiphytic, and last one is carnivorous. So apart for plants, dia buat makanan dia through photosynthesis, which is ada light dependent, light independent. This other type of plant, other type of plants involve, maksudnya dia makan, obtain dia punya nutrition in some other way. So like Rafflesia, alright. So Rafflesia is a parasite. So dia akan dapat makanan daripada apa tu? Kejap daripada ni daripada pokok lain. I'm sorry, my sister is here because they are macam okay, a bit okay, absorb organic substance. It's okay, it's like macam sama macam parasites punya nutrition lah. So epiphytes, alright, epiphytes or epiphytic, dia tak harm the plant, dia tak macam parasites. It doesn't harm the host. Sekarang ni dia menompang sahaja, alright, to receive more sunlight, but they can synthesize their own food, right? So dia tak menompang, dia tak ambil nutrition daripada the host, alright. They just epiphytes, they just commensalism. I think it's apa commensalism, mutualism pada saya, it's commensalism, alright. Dia dapat these benefits but the host tak dapat apa-apa. Okay, that is epiphytes. So you have to remember lah, Asplenium nidus and bulbophyllum is one of examples, alright? Two of the examples of epiphytic plants. Carnivorous, ini adalah pokok apa yang diorang selalu buat lemang ni? Periuk kera. So carnivorous, dia dapat dia punya source of phosphorus, source of nitrogen dia daripada haiwan. So dia akan trap it, dekat dalam ni ada enzymes yang dia akan digest. Right, but this one is very simple lah kot. 3 je nutrition of plants. Parasitic, epiphytic and carnivorous. So kalau soalan essay mungkin akan tanya you, explain the nutrition in plants, alright? The type of nutrition in plants. Explain the type nutrition in plants. So ada 3 ni lah, parasitic, epiphytic and carnivorous. Okay, but I want you to focus on this one, Riftia pachyphylla. Alright, we call it giant tube worm. It's very interesting because this worm, alright, dia duduk dekat dark zone. So dia tak boleh nak undergo photosynthesis. Jadi, bila dia tak ada photosynthesis, dia akan symbiosis. Alright, dia akan duduk dengan bakteria. Alright, so ada bakteria dekat dalam ni, symbiotic bacteria. So this bacteria, dia akan guna hydrogen sulfide, okay, dekat dalam ni is very harsh condition. So this bacteria akan guna hydrogen sulfide, H2S, hydrogen sulfide, dia akan oxidize the hydrogen sulfide and provide the energy untuk this pokok. Pokok ni kalau you tengok dekat dokumentari ke apa, dia macam cacing dekat bawah tu, dia macam keluar ni, plume dia akan keluar macam tu. Like this one. Very cantik. Alright, tapi itulah nak cakap kat you, this pokok, it cannot undergo photosynthesis. So how dia absorb this energy? Alright, how do they get energy untuk dia grow semua? Is because of this bacteria. Sama macam anglerfish. Tahu tak fish yang apa nama dia macam ni kan? Bentuk dia macam ni. Gigi tu. Kan? Fish ni kan dia duduk dekat dalam
dalam laut yang bawah sekali.
Yes, tapi lepas tu macam mana dia boleh bercahaya? Sebab kat dalam ni ada bakteria. So, bila ada bakteria kat sini, bakteria ni yang akan generate energy. So, this oxidation of energy ni akan buat cahaya. So, tapi macam mana bakteria ni akan producekan cahaya? This is what we call as quorum sensing. Okay, ni I just cerita je. This one a part of my master research. Alright, quorum sensing. When bacteria, bila dia dah banyak-banyak, dia dah cukup quorum. So kita dah macam ada population density, cukup quorum, baru dia akan activate dia punya bioluminescence yang dia akan buat dia bercahaya. So by controlling the population of bacteria dalam dia punya antler ni, dekat sini, dia boleh control the amount of cahaya dia yang ada dekat fish. Very interesting, right? So, I rasa lah, this bacteria, okay, sebab dia duduk dekat kawasan ni, hydrothermal vent, right? Maksudnya kawasan panas lah, right? Jadi, this bacteria, macam mana dia boleh survive, right? Dia masuk, you belajar enzyme kan, you belajar protein. Kalau enzyme, bila temperature dah tinggi, dia sepatutnya denatured. Tapi macam mana enzim, alright, dekat bakteria ni boleh survive. So, inilah yang study, kita ambil enzim dekat sini, dekat bakteria ni, kita study apa structure dia yang boleh buat dia survive in high temperature. So, bila kita dah study, so kita boleh modify enzim yang buat dia boleh withstand high temperature. Sebab tu deterjen you sekarang ada yang boleh macam, walaupun deterjen you ada enzim, dia kata boleh produce, you boleh basuh in high temperature. Enzim tu takkan denatured. Pretty interesting, right? So kalau you jadi scientist nanti, this is the things yang you akan explore lah. Macam mana understanding of the universe, you boleh make it easier for people to live. Alright, so okay. So for this chapter, I just recall balik Chapter 3 is very simple chapter. Alright, ada 3 je subset. It's not like chapter 2 yang you kena understanding photosynthesis and everything. Alright, this one is mostly pasal you need to read for this chapter. Alright, so you start off with this chapter you start off with inorganic nutrients. You know the difference between macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients you perlu dalam kuantiti yang banyak, micro dalam kuantiti yang sikit. Alright, to remember macronutrients, remember cicah mangga dengan kopi panas. Alright, apart from that is a micronutrients. Also remember apa akan jadi kalau tak ada phosphorus, apa akan jadi kalau tak ada ferrum, kalau tak ada nitrogen, alright, in inorganic nutrition. Next, you learn pasal organ. Organ is dia punya root, alright. You understand the root collar, the lateral root, the primary root. Well, basically, right, the lateral root adalah yang keluar daripada primary root. So you ada root collar kat sini, right? So ni kan, ini root collar. So sini dah start root, right? So sini adalah root collar. So sini adalah primary root. Primary root. Yang extend daripada primary root, semua ni kita panggil lateral root. Alright? Lateral root. Okay, ini adalah basic structure sahaja. So, you need to learn pasal dia punya cross section dia tadi. Cross section dia tadi, so you tahu dia ada root hair, so ada xylem, pericycle, endodermis, and this one lah. So, the one yang IKIV is the structure ni tadi, right? Primary phloem and primary xylem. Because last thing I know xylem should be like this, like structure like this, but it's okay, I'll check later for this one, alright? Okay, yang paling penting kat sini adalah endodermis because it has Casparian strip. This one pun I'm not sure whether Casparian strip should be like 4 ni je because it doesn't label. Like as far as I know, it should be in all cells. Alright, Casparian strip. But it's okay, just macam this one je dulu. Alright, well, I'll explain more about this later. Next, last one on nutrition of plants ni, you belajar type of nutrition. So ada 3, parasitic, epiphytic and carnivorous. Alright, but very simple. Explanation ni pun is fairly, what you need to know adalah ni je lah kot, the example of plant. So kalau carnivorous, picture of Venus flytrap, Dinosia muscipula, something macam tu. Alright, so the question, because you are the first batch, so I don't really know what kind of question that will be asked. So, but I'll try to generate question for you to attempt later. Alright, boleh chapter 3. Is that easier? Banyak sikit lah kena hafal, but hopefully boleh lah. Alright. Okay. Alright, boleh people? Are you okay?
Okay.
Pening kepala kan, rasa macam penuh sangat semula kan. Sekejap, I stop recording first.